there, Bowflex Barbie here, your host of the Flex Pretty podcast. And just like every episode, today is no different. I am joined by an amazing guest. And I am so happy Drew Curry is that guest today. Thanks so much for being here, Drew.
Thanks so much for having me.
So, Drew, for those who don't know you, I know you pretty well. I've worked with you a few times. I see you all on my internets, doing your thing. For those who aren't as familiar with you, just share a little bit about who you are and what you do.
So I am Drew K. Curry. And the K. I'm a self-development coach here in the Bahamas, and I help women who have not low self-esteem, but self-doubt, who battle with self-doubt to create a successful plan, and I hold them accountable to their goals within itself. Other than that, I am a part-time nail technician, and that's about it, I think.
That's about it.
A sister, a daughter. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. So, Drew, talk me through how you said you're a self-development coach.
Yes.
So how did you get, you said you're a part-time nail technician as well. I know that you'd mentioned that came first, right?
Yeah, it did.
Tell me about that transition from being a nail technician to being a self-development coach.
You want the long story or the short version?
Whatever you feel inspired to share.
Okay. So we have to go back to the beginning. When I first came out of school in 2012, my uncle told me to go into tourism management because it's the number one industry and you will always have a job. So after I came out of school, I went to BTVI, got a trade. Didn't like nails, but just needed something. And I went to COB back then. Failed all of my classes, so I had to drop out.
Okay.
Literally, I passed that one class. I don't know if you had that
What
class.
was your major in COB?
Tourism and hospitality management.
Okay.
So it's that one class where there's counseling. Like everyone have to take a counseling, like an introduction to college. That's the only class I passed.
Like that freshman seminar or whatever. Yeah.
So after 2 years paying my own school fee, I just dropped out, went full time, got a job. I think I did tell you that earlier, and then went full time into nails. After 5 years.
So how did you pay your way through nails? Paid your way through college or?
No, I had a job at a cafe.
Okay.
And I was working there for 8 months. So I was full-time student, full-time.
At the cafe as
yeah,
well.
so it was really hard for me.
Yeah.
And because I was struggling with my grades, it really didn't make sense at that point. So I just dropped out. And I left the cafe because I just wasn't making no sense at that point. When I saw how the world actually worked and how much money I could make investing in myself, I left the cafe and then I went into nails full time. It was hard because everyone make it seem so good when you're working for yourself, but when you're just starting off, it's hard. It's hard. So I was making $50 a week, literally 19, making $50 a week, $100 a week. No one would know me doing nails. But it was one day I make... So this is how it was. I was working with a lady. She was paying all of the bills and the boot, and I just had to work. So it was 50-50. And one day I made $400 that one day, and I had to give her $200. And I'm like, damn, if I was doing this by myself, it would have all would have.
I keep it all.
Yeah. But I continue to do that until my sister called me. She lived in Eleuthera, and she's like, Brylan, we gotta come in. So if you want to come and do nails, come. And I came, went on the fast ferry, and that day I made $300 by myself. And I called a lady and I was like, lady,
it's done. It's over.
I'm done. Right. So after that, I just went into nails full time. It was really beautiful. Just having conversation with women all day. I learned a lot about them actually. And so 5 years, which make 5 years was 2020. I started to battle depression. I was making money like $1,500 a week. I mean, for some people that's little money, but for me as a young girl, that was money.
That's good money.
Making like $5,000 a month just by doing nails itself. And I started to sell the products. I started to teach. I was really big in the field within itself, but I started to become more depressed. I feel like I just felt stationed. Because I had my own studio, so I was sitting down working all day. That was it for me. Yeah. Working, get up.
Go home.
It was like a 9 to 5, but I worked for myself. And I got depressed. So I've gone to the States. I went to work in a celebrity nail salon in the States. I think the Claymore twins, I did their nails. And it was one of the, them famous Instagram girls. But I learned that I didn't want to do nails afterwards. I went there because I thought that I just needed to change the scenery. But when I got there, it wasn't what I thought. So I came back home and I remember telling my mommy, I was like, Mommy, I think this is my last year doing nails. And she's like, what are you going to do? And I was like, I don't know, but it's my last year doing nails. And guess what came after that? The pandemic. Mm-hmm. So within the pandemic, I stopped doing nails. I started reading a lot of self-development books, and I was single that year. So you get had that a lot. I was single that year. So I was reading this book, and I was like, you don't have no debt. You don't have no bills. You don't have no kids. Just go out. Yeah. And I moved to South Asia for a year, came back, and it was funny. I just had a goal to reach out to 50 women from the age of 21 to 41, and I wanted to know if they were goal-oriented. That's it. And after speaking to 50 women, I learned that only 3 were goal-oriented, and I'm like, damn, that's a problem. So I do a little package together. If you work with me, we could do this. And I saw one of my clients' life change, and I was like, there's something I want to do. Yeah.
What prompted the desire to ask the women? Like, was it something you were reading? Was it something that came up that made you say, okay, I want to ask 50 women if they're goal oriented?
I think a lot of people ask me how I did what I did. So first of all, I was young, making my own money, working from
the nail space.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I had my first event when I was, I think 23 or 22. I had a vision board event. This was like in 2019. Mm-hmm. I had it, and most of my clients came, and I saw how it impacted them. And I was like, I onto something. Mm-hmm. That was just the first time doing it. Everyone came. It was solo. And after that, people just used to ask me, like, how you did this. Like, at a young age, you save. I'm big on saving. So it was just a lot. And when I came back, I just wanted to know that why you have the 5% and then why you have the 95%. That's just where my brains went.
That's how you think.
Yeah. And I just wanted to know. So I did my own little statistics, and it's like, damn, people are just winging it out.
Yeah.
And I felt like I know the problem, and I had a solution. So I just went with it.
I like that. I think that, yeah, I mean, I think most people don't really sit. They kind of turn the wheel, check the boxes. They, in a sense, become robots, right? Like just going through day to day, kind of taking what they get, right? So I think it's commendable, and I think that's why people were reaching out to you.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how did you step out on you walked away from this thing that was so great to you and like just dip.
Just gone. And I think that's like, even when I was telling my clients in 2019, I started to tell a few of my clients, I don't want to do nails no more. And it's like, girl, you crazy? You making money? You living by yourself? You paying your own apartment? It's like I was living that life. What girls would be like, that's that life. But I was depressed in that life.
Like at what cost? Yeah.
Yeah, it was costing me a lot emotionally. Mm-hmm. And I learned that you can't share your vision with a lot of people because sometimes their insecurities could bring you down. Yeah. So I just stopped telling people, and I sent out an email to all of my clients, and then I create like a card where I write like because they was riding with me from since I first started nails. And then I just gone with an organization. I was supposed to go to the UK, and then the UK got shut off from COVID-19. So I ended up in South Asia. And then when people saw that, it was like, wow, this girl on, she just pick up, jump, and
she legit was like, let's
bye. So with all of that, people just wanted to know how, and people came to me for advice, like how I should do this, how I should do that. And I learned that I used to hold my clients accountable to their goals. You had clients who they want to save $10K a year. Okay, saving $10K a year is only $26 a day. Literally, if you save $26 a day, that's $10K a year. So why you're not doing it? Yeah. You're spending that on food.
Probably more than that now. You literally about $50.
So I hold them accountable, and I saw what my advice did, and I was like, I'm on to something. So yeah, reading the self-development books kind of sort of played a big role in that too. So I just was investing in myself in the best way I could.
That's awesome. So as a self-development coach, what do you do? Like, what is your, I guess, strategy for personally? Because as a coach, I'm sure you spend a lot of time pouring into people, right? Advising, holding them accountable, meeting with them, helping them strategize, plan, figure out, okay, what's next? What does your personal self-development strategy look like? What does that look like for you?
Firstly, every advice I give my clients, I live by it also. So I have my own therapist. Because I was depressed in 2018, 19, I had to hire a therapist. It was really bad. So I have my own therapist. I have my own accountability partner, and then my own financial coach itself. So a day, you asking me what a day in my life look like, or in terms of job wise?
If you want to share a day in your life, it's up to you. I just want to know, like, what I mean, those elements, the therapist, the financial coach, all that stuff. I get. You go to the people that are experts in their field and you learn from them, right? But also, like, on an internal side, like, what strategies or what tools, I mean, you say you practice what you preach, right? But give me a glimpse into what that is for you personally. What from your toolbox do you pull on regularly?
The major one for me, if I'm answering your question correctly, is I listen to podcasts or motivational videos every morning and every night, because I learned that the same, whatever we put in our body come out of us. Literally whatever you consume come back out. So I listen to like Earl Nightingale, I listen to
yes,
Earl
true.
Nightingale. Oh, you know who's Earl Nightingale?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I respect you. Like, I respect you. But
now you respect me. Thank you.
So I listen to Earl Nightingale a lot. The Strangest Secret. I listen to that over and over and over. And I learned that the successful people actually given their not give the blueprint. They're giving us that blueprint. We just have to literally listen.
Yeah.
Like, just
You gotta tap
listen.
in,
Yeah. So I think for me, on a daily thing, I think that helped me, because last year I had a bad car accident. I had a really bad car accident a few blocks from your girl, and I almost died. I ended up in a hospital.
Oh,
and I remember I wanted to give up on everything I was doing, because I was taking pills to go. Like, I was taking pills to actually calm myself down, because I was, oh man. Anyways, it was really deep. But I could say that Earl Nightingale, Les Brown, Jim Rohn, they're the people who actually helped me, because I just could have had a voice, because I put that in me every day when I literally wanted to give up.
You heard
it's like
it.
it's possible. You have to do it. Life is 10% what happened to you, 90% how you react to it. So what are you going to do now, Drew? That was it. So I had to get up, put on my panties, and get back going. Put on my big girl panties and get up.
Pull them up.
Yeah.
Snap the band and walk.
So that's basically it for me. Reading self-development books. I see a few on y'all library.
Our little child. What you see up there? What you read?
I see the subtle art of not giving an F, right? The Think and Grow Rich. Becoming Michelle, Will Smith book. And I think it's the next one I saw. 10X, what I actually read.
Did you read 10X?
No. But it was one with the 12 rules. The 12 rules, the one in the middle, the white one. That's something I want to read next.
You want to read it?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think, like you said, a lot of successful people have given us their blueprint. And I mean, I think you listen to interviews, you read the books that they've written. You'll see like that routine of feeding their minds with information, positive things, motivating themselves in the morning, learning something new every day, or, striving to continuously learn and motivate themselves to do more. That's a common theme too, right? And so if they still doing that at their state of success, like, and it's not something you do up to a point and then you say, all right, I reached, like, time for me to now enjoy. Like, no, that's something you continuously do. And so I definitely feel you on that. That's something I was talking to another guest about. We were talking about just how, having a routine is, and a positive morning routine, positive evening routine is such a game changer, right?
It's important, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's something I used to be really good at my morning routine. I'm not as good in 2023. Yeah, like I don't know. I think I've been getting up a bit earlier, like to start work. So it's been trying to find that sweet spot. Yeah, not even balance. I honestly just feel like sometimes my morning routine happens in the car, like, because I'm on the road at sometimes 5 a.m. So
gotcha.
It may just be that quiet 10-15 minute drive that I put something on to set the tone for my day, but I was like, I need to get back to some sort of,
got you.
Or as I'm getting ready, putting my headphones in and listening. Yeah. So
and that's something I tell a lot of my clients too. we talk about this a little bit. You have the 95 and then you have the 5%. The 95%, the 5%. When you talk about that, some people don't understand. You understand what I mean, right? The 95 and the 5%. And I feel like if we just adapt to what the 5% doing, literally we could grow in basically every area of our life. But
so for people that don't understand the 95 and the 5, because they may be watching like, what the hell is she talking about? Explain.
So the 95% is the majority of people who just get up, go to work,
checking the boxes,
who just checking the boxes, literally just living to live, go to school, graduate, got a government job, 2 weeks vacation, and then retire. That's it. And then the 5% is the people who's actually successful, who's doing the thing they want to do on the level they want to do it on. And in every country, you have the 95 and then the 5. So you have the 95 who consume the garbage and then produce garbage. And then when they look at the 5%, we look at them, I'm not a part of that, but they look at us, judging. But it's a lot of work what goes into becoming a part of the 5%. And that's something I tell my clients a lot. You have to read the blueprint, study the books, success leaf clues, and everyone who you look up to have something out there what you could, walk along the lines and make it happen.
I think also just like asking, like you said, people came to you when they saw you. Like a lot of people don't have the courage to just ask. Like,
right? No.
Or they make in their minds that this person is going to not give me the answer. They can gatekeep. They can be nasty. Mean. They can look at me sideways. But the reality is, like, most people are willing to help. Yeah, the majority of people are like, they want to see that 5% grow from 5% to more, and so most people are willing to share, but you have to have that courage to ask. And I think I always respect, and I try to always be like super supportive of people that engage me for whatever it is, like whether it's business, fitness, whatever it is, because I do know that it takes courage to ask. It takes people out of their comfort zone. I find it hard to ask people for help. That's just my nature. Not even that I have this perception that I sometimes feel like, I don't know, I don't want to be rejected, or I don't want, whatever the fear is, but I know it takes courage a lot of times to ask. But that's really like one of the fastest ways, because you could sit and read, you could sit and listen, you could do all these things, but what's better than going to the source?
Some people just hate hearing that I can't. Like I had a potential client who's interested in art, and she wanted to message a big artist over here, and I was like, why you don't? And she was like, I messaged, but I didn't get a response. And I was like, don't take it personal if they don't answer. They might have a busy schedule. Just reach out again.
Try another avenue.
3 months later, she was like, oh, Drew, the girl did reach out to me. And I was like, what if you didn't reach out again? Then you would have missed that because you taking it personal, like, oh, they ain't answering me, they see it. No, like, people busy, but still ask for help. We could do it together faster.
Yeah, I think that's a big I always respect people that try, even if you don't get an answer. Like what's the worst? They answer or they don't. Like, anyone can die if they don't answer. If they do, it could, you could get something out of it. So
that's I learned that a lot in the entrepreneurship. So I wanted to message you, right? But then I know he's a busy woman, so I didn't want to.
No, you was the message. Go ahead.
So message away. So it's like an example what I want to give, and we didn't get no tissue, so I could try not to cry and just look up and smile. But a few months ago, I reached out to you for your help on sponsorship for a program I was launching at that time, and what I learned is, as a nail technician, I started to sell products, and I remember I was driving from Carmichael, like from east to west, trying to sell products. I knock on $20 and everyone was saying no. And it was this one last door, and I called my friend. I was like, girl, I don't think I want to come here because everyone didn't tell me no. Why keep knocking? And she's like, Drew, let's just let this be the last one then. And when I knocked, they purchased the product. So this the story, that point, put a point there, and then this the new story to that. So you were helping me, you gave me some advice on my program, and I was looking for sponsorship for 15 businesses, and I was calling day in, day out. And I took your advice, go in person and then drop off the envelope so they could actually see who Drew is. And I was calling, and they were like, no, we're not interested. This isn't good. And I was just sitting in that, and I just had to keep pushing. And the girl was like, I think my mom was like, Drew, why you don't just stop it? Like one on your run. And a multi-million-dollar franchise called me, and it's like, Miss Curry, your check is ready. And I cry, and I like, it was,
I just got goosebumps.
Yeah, like I cry. And then after that, like, a gas station over here just called me, your check ready. Like restaurants, your check ready. And I was like, imagine if I had to give up or if I didn't ask for help. So it's power when you ask for help because you did it. I just needed your secret, what to do. And that same thing of going inside and giving the envelope. Because I told a woman, I was like, oh, you have on the bougie pink nails. And she's like, bougie pink. And I think that's what sold her a little bit. Because I made a connection, I made a connection. And after that, she called me. She's like,
come get your thing.
Come get your thing. So, yeah, I wanted to message you and celebrate.
That is awesome. We celebrate now. Let's go. Congratulations.
Thank you. But that's the power of asking for help.
That is awesome. Yeah, most
just
people,
keep going.
It costs me nothing to do that. Like, it costs me absolutely nothing to say that. Let me send you what I have, what I've done, what I've learned has been great. And we go through the same thing. We still go through it. Like, with sponsorships for stuff and different projects, people don't always buy in, but I mean, even the fact that you walked in, like I struggle with that at where I am. Yeah, I struggle with walking into places.
You give me that advice.
And asking, but I do it, but I struggle. Like I struggle. Okay. I go in like with my hands sweating, and I gotta put on my big girl panties.
Got you
that day, and like muscle up and do it. Or sometimes I be like, Ethan, hey, today's your day. Depending on if it's something we're doing together, you know. But I mean,
it takes courage.
It does, but you have to also have that strong belief in what it is you're doing, right?
Yes.
Like if you believe that what you're doing is valuable and it's gonna be, it's something amazing and it's gonna be life changing. Like what you're doing is life changing for these students, right? So like that's what you're doing it for. It ain't you. It's bigger than you. And so when you look at it through that lens, it's like I'm doing a disservice to them, the people that's gonna benefit if I don't step up and keep going. Like I get a couple no's, but I get some yeses too.
It's a lot. It is a lot. And I think the Earl Nightingale and the Les Brown and all of this, what we talk about, what we put in our body, our morning routine, come in that too. Because it's like you can't give up. You cannot give up.
That's your armor, right? That's the foundation you use to build yourself up. And if you have something strong like that, like those little setbacks, and you dust them off and you keep going. But I love that. That is awesome, Drew.
So I'll be rocking some logos on my shirt this year for my School of Reach program, and I'm really, really, really excited.
So tell me, I know I've seen the document, but tell us a bit more about the program that you are working on.
The Blueprint Bahamas School of Reach program is a program where we go into the senior schools to educate the 12th graders on the importance of visualization, setting goals, self-development in that area. I basically feel like when our students come out of school, they don't get the tools they actually need. They get the tools to work for someone, but not the tools actually to excel in life. And I have some family members who have PhDs and they still winging it out. Like they still don't know what they're doing because they don't know about
professional students.
Real. So they don't know about, the financial intelligence or emotional intelligence. They don't know nothing. They don't know how to handle adversity, like how I could go to $20 and still, they don't know nothing. So I go into the senior schools. Last year, I was able to teach over 1,000 students. And this year, I think it's doubling. But I go into the senior schools and I just educate our future leaders about the importance of creating and setting goals. Like people be like, why are you always talking so much about goals? Literally, goals is everything. Earl Nightingale in A Stranger's Secret, he talk about why men with goals succeed in life and men without them fail. Why? You can't just go in a boat and just let it float anywhere. You have to stir.
Stare? I don't know. Stare
the boat. So my braces just come on. So anyway, you understand the struggle. So that's what I do basically. So I just give my students a vision and I share my story. When you go into the bank, you just don't get a regular account. Like see the interest rate you have. Well, they ain't sponsoring me to say this. I don't know if I could say this. I could say this, right?
Go ahead.
Okay, so you have example, Fidelity. You have 1.3% on savings account. Fidelity, you could cut the check for us to, put the logo behind. But I just told my students about the importance. They don't know these things. They literally they don't. Yeah. In school, they don't teach them these things.
It's not. You don't. You have to learn that. A lot of people, including me, learn a lot of that stuff as you kind of went along, right? Like. Yeah, no, you learn types of accounts maybe, or, you had commerce or whatever classes in high school. Beyond, and then with those, in that setting, you learn enough to pass your test. You ain't thinking, I have to learn this for for the next phase of my life.
So that's what I basically inform them, and they'd be like, Miss Kari, like no one actually taught us this in school.
Yeah, no.
The system, I can't say the system is
nobody's teaching adults either.
That is true.
As an adult, you have to now go out and invest in the coaches, or go and seek help or expert advice on a lot of these things.
And again, the 95% don't do that, and that's why the 5%,
they feel like they don't need it. Like,
right.
I'm supposed to just go collect my salary
and that's it.
Put some in the bank.
2 weeks vacation.
Get my 2 weeks.
That's
spend
it.
most of that on my 2 weeks, or I get a loan to go on my 2 weeks.
Right, and that's what I tell them too. Like, you have literally a lot of people in debt because they don't know the importance of saving or the importance of investment. And that's something I tell my students, like, okay, don't just get this government job and buy a car. Get a triplex, like make it make sense.
It make sense, yeah.
So that's what the Project Blue do. I got a contract to work to a private school. So a lot of things been happening, girl.
Hey.
Like, I've been blowing and glowing and just enjoying this 2023. Seriously. So that's basically what I do thus far.
I love it.
Yeah. So it's so much more to come this year for me, and I'm excited for it.
I'm excited to see it, excited to witness it. And hopefully support in any way that I can.
Yeah, you'll be a part of that.
Message me, especially for the winter. What's the message me that Drew? Yeah.
Sorry, like I said, you busy man. Like you.
You're projecting.
Sorry.
Don't project. Yeah, don't project.
I take back my sorry. I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
I wouldn't do it.
Thank you.
But I'll message you next time. We could go for a drink. I could. You eat sushi, right? Yeah. I could take you on a date if I have. Okay, I could take you on a date.
What you mean? If you have permission. Yes, we can go. We can grab a drink.
We could grab a drink, but yeah. So that's what's up with the Project Blue.
That's awesome.
Bahamas. So that's my goal.
That's awesome. So Drew.
Yes, ma'am.
We're on the Flex Pretty podcast, so we got to talk a little bit about fitness. Now I know, right? that's a deep sigh, right? Woo. You got to take a sip to that, eh? So Drew, we connected. When was that? Last year, 2022, when you came on to film me for YouTube.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, so you filmed me for YouTube. You used to tag me in a lot of your workout videos. I ain't getting no tags in a little while, so I know what happened.
I had a breakup.
Okay.
I got depressed. After breakup, I'm single again.
It's a time,
So I was a part of Youth Empowerment. And I was doing a lot of fitness back then because I wanted that to be in my morning routine. As an entrepreneur, my schedule isn't like how people have like that, that schedule. I have to literally create it for myself. Mm-hmm. So wake up 5 o'clock. And then that's why I get in fitness, actually. I used to see you up like, when you go on Instagram and when you look at your stories, it's like you up
4 hours ago.
I'm like, I'm on my second dream. Like, what is going on? And that actually motivated me to start working on, honestly, like literally. But I had a bad breakup, and then that threw the fitness thing down. But I'm getting there.
So talk me through when you were on it, right? What did that look like, and what did that provide for you during that time? You were consistent, you were on it. Like, what did that look like, and how did that benefit you?
So I don't want to say it's a fitness journey, because I think fitness is like a lifestyle, if that makes sense.
We call it a journey, yeah.
We call it a journey?
Yeah,
okay.
It's a never-ending journey, okay.
Yeah. What it looked like for me, so I got up and I work out to some Bowflex Barbie. I don't know if you know her, but she had some nice
Sounds
YouTube. She had some nice like YouTube videos, and I had some of her products also. And that's what it was. I wanted to lose my thigh fat. But it was good. My fitness, it was really good. It gave me energy. Like after working out, I feel like I could have, like I was doing adult things. You know what I mean? Like I was adulting after that.
Real adult.
So it was good. To go deep, it was literally just watching your videos every morning, basically. I had some of your products. I had some weights. Just listening to some Les Brown and doing that, I felt really good in that way. Drink a lot of water. And then my mommy started coming along with me doing that. So we built a little community, accountability partner with that. So that's basically how it was. But it was a part of my routine. Like I wake up ready to
do it,
work out. And I learned that when I started to post content, a lot of people like fitness content. That's like a lot of people was following and liking and commenting. I'm like, okay. I mean, I could be there, but yeah. So that's how my journey is thus far. But I'm getting back.
Yeah, when you're getting back. hold you accountable.
So I started some yoga classes, and I was saying now that I'm doing yoga, I should like slowly get back into it. I wanted to start doing like jump ropes 100 a day and then go into the Bowflex Barbie YouTube. But I changed my diet. So that count as a fit. Like, I don't eat meat no more.
Okay. So how long now?
It's been 4 months. I haven't eaten meat for 4 months.
What was the reason for cutting it out?
Girl, you step on my toe just now.
Sorry.
So I had a breakup again. I'm single.
For the third time.
I just wanted to go on a journey. I went and I did a Daniel fast. You ever did a Daniel fast before? You heard about it?
Yeah, I know what it is.
Okay.
I never do it.
Okay, so I did a Daniel fast and it went really good. But on the third week of the fast, I was sitting down on my phone and I was peeing and
thank you for sharing that.
I was on my phone just swiping. Oh my gosh, like this is really embarrassing because it took me a long time to actually share the story. Okay.
This is your first time sharing the story?
No, but it's my first time. Okay, so.
Okay, go ahead.
I can trust you with this.
And everybody watching.
Anyways, I just saw some creatures coming out of me. And I had to stop eating meat. I had to go into the doctor. And the doctor was like, because my Nepali lifestyle, something probably got contaminated. And because I clean out myself, I saw your facial. That was too much just now.
No, go ahead.
No, it was a lot for me as a woman too. When I actually shared with someone, they was like, it's normal. Yeah. But for me, I just felt like I was nasty, so I just stopped eating meat, eating fast food. I drink a gallon of water a day, and my whole diet changed after that. More greens, more fruits, because like the doctor said, she didn't know what was happening. I had to do some blood tests just to make sure everything was okay. Fine, yeah. So that's how my diet actually changed. But the doctor told me it's normal, and when I Google it, you have so much other stories. People just don't talk about it. Yeah. But yeah, child, what actually happened? Sorry for just dropping all of that.
Yeah, like I wasn't ready, but it's fine,
Yeah, so that's what happened to my health journey. So it's good now. My body's flowing, feeling much better. Just have to get back on the fitness part of it. I have all the guys home, so they can't just sit up and look at me.
No excuses.
But I can allow you to be my accountability partner.
Yeah, I can check in on you. Be like, hey, what's going on? Thank you. Because I literally thought, I was like, I haven't seen Drew post nothing.
You thought about me in that way?
She ain't tagged me in nothing in a while. Yeah, usually I get like one a week or something. Every now and then.
Things about to change.
I see you doing something. I ain't seen nothing in a while. So
things about to change. Things about to change with my fitness.
Okay.
I promise you that. You can see more, probably 2 a week. Yeah, probably 2 a week.
Like, I ain't gonna overcommit.
No, probably 2 a week. I can commit to 2 a week, you can see.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not bad. So, Drew, I often ask, me and Ethan talk about this a lot, right? We talk about, we say, is an idea or the execution better, right? What do you think? Is it better to have a good idea, or execute?
If it's better to have a good idea or to execute.
What's more important, execution or the idea?
Wow.
Or the plan?
I think it's the execution.
So you said execution is more important, right? So on that same theme, I know people that are great at setting goals, right? I know that you're a self-development coach. Mm-hmm. You specialize, or you help people with setting goals, right? I know people that are great at setting goals. Like, they check all the boxes as far as it's specific, measurable, attainable, relevant time, and all these things, a great goal on paper or in their planner, wherever it is, in their mind. They have it on their vision board. It's a goal, right? But it's the same goal for the last 5 years, right? There's no strategy. There's no action plan. And at least for me, I feel like the action is more important than the goal. I think you do have to have a goal to know what action. I think they go hand in hand, right? But in your field of work, like, how many, not even just clients, but how many people do you come across that are great at setting the goal, but that is as far as it goes? Like, and how do you help that person overcome that blockage of, I've figured out how to set a great goal. I now know what I want. I have a clear picture of what I want, but I like, what next?
Okay, so the first question is if a lot of people set goals in terms of if they have the plan, actually, if I meet a lot of people who have the plan, if I'm correct?
Well, no, not even that have the plan, but like they're great at setting the goals. You get them to the point where they can now set the goals, but they just, what comes after that, which is now the action, they hit a block in actually doing the work to get the goal.
The goal itself.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually meet a lot of people who come in that box, who's in that box. My advice to them, well, this goes back to the 3 and the 47, the females who I reached out to earlier. And what I learned is that a lot of people have a vision, not actually a goal, but they have a vision of how they see their future, but they don't have a goal plan or execution plan and set to do it. So for me, I will inform my clients or people, like, what is your why? You want this goal. You want to have a house. Why you want to have this house? Because the why kind of sort of is the engine behind the car. It kind of push you. So when the blockage come, when a car accident come, you kind of look up and you be like, I still have to do this. So for my clients or potential clients, I ask them, what is the long-term vision? Well, I ask them to reflect, because self-reflection helps to see how you could do things differently for the new year. So self-reflect, and then you create that vision. You can't go nowhere without actually having a vision. So you can't even set a goal if you don't know where you see yourself in 5 years. And it's crazy how I was talking to someone about this. You have a lot of vision board party, but it's outdated now because everyone doing it the wrong way. They just come together, drink, and put things on
cut the
board.
magazine up, would look good. Yeah, make it look pretty.
They don't actually be intentional with their goals and with their vision board, and that's when they get a blockage and they be like, this goal setting thing needs to me, like, break this don't make no sense. But for my clients, we self-reflect, and potential clients too, we self-reflect, I ask them the vision, but the why is really important, because when you hit a blockage, because you're going to hit a blockage when adversity comes, because adversity is going to come, the why kind of sort of push you, and then you set that goal, and then everything else with accountability and baby steps and failure, everything come along. I answer your question?
Kinda, yeah.
Any other area you wanted to go deep in?
I think it's just the actual like execution, right? Like, because in my head, like having an okay goal, like having my goal not perfect, right? Having a sort of clear vision, having a kind of great why, or a good idea of what my why is, doing some sort of reflection, kind of being able to see myself or my life 5 years from now, and just going out and doing the work, in my opinion, like, is going to be more powerful than that person who has it all clearly laid out, written out, visualized, but just sitting on it, you know?
Definitely.
And so, like, I wonder what is that. I mean, I know it's probably a combination of things that may be different for different people, but I do wonder, like, and I was just curious, like, in your work, what do you find is the biggest hindrance for people actually, once they get to that point of, I have the vision, I have the why, I have the goal, I know what I want, I'm just not doing it. And even with your help, right, of we creating the baby steps, like, I'm sure that you have that, because I know I have it in fitness, very similar in the fitness space with clients, right? They have a vision of what they want their body to look like, what they want their life or their health to look like. They have a strong why, but it comes down to, okay, now you have to exercise 5 times a week. They only coming out maybe once or twice, and they know they should be doing 5. They have the accountability of they paid for the sessions, but it's still this disconnect between the expectation or the desire and the actual work. So I just wondered, like, how do you as a self-development coach then kind of try to bridge that gap? Because I struggle as a trainer trying to pour into people that have that disconnect. They know exactly what to do as far as, I need to work out X amount of times, I need to eat in this style to get to the end goal. But it, like you said, it's a struggle. Roadblocks happen, things happen, life happens. And so
I think it come along with we have to unlearn a lot of the bad habits we have and then create the new habits. It sounds simple, but it's really hard. Really hard.
Yeah.
And I think that's why some people could plan so good and still don't execute it, because now to do the work, you have to unlearn. Example, so for my clients, I'll tell them, let's see if we could delete whatever is your biggest time waster, let's see if we could delete it. It's hard for people. So when they delete the TikTok or the Instagram app, they see their hands now just go into the phone looking for it. And it's like a habit. They have to now unlearn that habit.
What do I do now?
Right. So I think that's where a lot of people stumble, because I set this goal. I have the vision. I have this, but now I have to actually put in the work. And the work is to unlearn all of the negative things you told yourself and create new habits. So for my clients, it's hard to get them there. Some people really want to give up on the program because it's really hard. And that's why it's so comfortable being the 95%. But I still try my best to hold them accountable and let them see that vision too. Because when they reach the mountaintop, I tell a lot of my clients this: life is like you on the mountaintop than in the valley. When you on the mountaintop, that's when you win a high. Like I am my mountaintop era, the stage. Mm-hmm. When you on the mountaintop, you could see the other vision. I getting passionate, sorry. I apologize. But when you're on your mountaintop, you could see the vision within itself. But when you're in the valley, that's when things tough. It ain't looking like last year.
You see in the valley.
You ain't seeing much. So some people on that valley stage, and they can't. They say
all
they can't.
See is the valley,
all they see is the valley. So you have to execute it until you get to your mountaintop to see the vision. So I think that's the hardest part for some people. They want it, but it's a lot of, the formula is easy, but it's still a lot. The work is hard, and it's just unlearning. It's like someone saying you need Bowflex Barbie, but then they say afterwards, you need me actually Bowflex Barbie. It's Miss Quant. And then you gotta get used to that. And it's like, no, that's not my name. So a lot of people, when it comes to setting goals, your whole identity, you become a new person. Yeah. Literally.
Yeah, in unlearning those habits, you now have to most likely you have to release a lot of people connected to some of those habits too, right? So yeah, it's a change in a lot of things.
It's like you have a lot of people who want to lose weight. Like I have clients who want to lose weight, but then they don't want to actually cut the things off with costing them to gain weight. But they'll be like, how you get like this, or how this person. You just have to unlearn this way you probably come in, but you literally just have to learn the new habits and know your why, because 5 years from now, wherever you are, you made an appointment to be there with your weight journey, with financial. You can't blame no one. And that's something that's it there. It's hard for a lot of people, but it comes easy when you continue to consume the right things, the books, the conversations, the podcasts, things like this, like just having an open conversation. You have a lot of people where you could plug yourself in a community so you could learn more. But
you also have to be now willing to do the work in finding those communities, and
it's hard.
Taking the courage
but it's still hard for some people.
Yeah,
some people don't know what a healthy community look like, and that's why they live in a certain lifestyle. Especially like some of my students too, when you sit down and have conversations with them, like I tell some of my parents, you have to be careful what you say and what you're telling your kids, because when they in school and when they come out of school, that same whatever you told them,
you feeding them.
So they already discouraged and they ain't even go to school yet. Like they already think they can't do nothing. But I tell them it's possible. If Sir Sidney Poitier could do it, you see how much Bohemian athletes just going out there making it happen. Like if they could do it, would make us different. So girl, put on your big panties and get it together. Get it together. So that's what I tell my clients and my students, because it goes hand in hand. Honestly, you have to unlearn to actually grow in every area of life, and it's hard, but easy come, easy go.
I like that. Yeah, and I mean it makes sense, but like you said, it's sometimes a lot easier in theory. Like, it's easier to write it out and look at it.
Professional students, definitely. Professional students,
it's a lot easier in theory than it is to actually do it, and especially like you said, you have to now reprogram your mind, your body, your actions to follow this foreign thing, right? That could also then be a stretch.
Yeah, and it could discourage, like, oh my gosh, it's too hard. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I have to reach out to the cal.
And we tend to, I mean, it's nature to like retract when things become uncomfortable. But we know, I mean, we say it all the time. It's cliche, but nothing great happens inside the comfort zone, right? So if it's stretching you, it's making you uncomfortable, then you know that it's good, right? It's good for you.
On the other hand, it's still easier said than done.
Yeah, for sure. People, so we put it on shirts. We say it, we quote it, get uncomfortable, but it's not fun. It's not sexy. It's not enjoyable.
It's not. But then what the sad thing too, when you see other people living in their success and creating the opportunities, we look at them and like what they doing.
We ignore the discomfort. We ignore the discomfort of you driving around, knocking on doors, rolling up on businesses. Right. All they see is, how she get this sponsor, how she get this opportunity,
not knowing the
discomfort and the tears and the sweat and the work that came with it.
Yeah.
They see the end result, but
Not what
which is why I
happened.
think it's so important for platforms like this, right? You sharing your story, people sharing their stories of those uncomfortable moments, realizing and make people realize, showing people that, okay, no, like this wasn't because I know somebody, I connected, I got this, or I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. It was, no, I put in the work. I got uncomfortable. I shed some tears. I almost gave up, but I didn't. And it paid off. Because in the end, like, you even if you don't get the result you want, you get more out of it than you would have if you didn't do anything at all, right? You learn from it. You grow from it. You pivot. You build character. You're getting something positive out of that discomfort, whether it's exactly what you wanted or something that's a stepping stone towards what you want, right? Maybe you even learned that I don't really want that. I thought I wanted it, but I actually want something else, something different. So yeah, I think that's
doing it.
Yeah,
just literally, it's hard though. Honestly, it's hard. It's hard for a lot of people because they don't have communities like this. Whereas I could call you and ask for help. Some people literally do not have that. So it's hard on that end. But if I could do it, if you could do it, anyone could actually do it. You just have to drop those excuses and make it happen. Like,
find the communities. I mean, in today's age, there's really no excuse.
None.
Even if you're paying for access to communities, right? Which in situations I've had to pay to learn things, right? I've had to pay for access to mentors or pay for access to learn specific tools and things that I needed to get to my goals. And so, I would say make the investment, whether it's financial, energy, effort, time, actually going and knocking on doors, actually sending those DMs, sending those emails, going through the not getting responses,
right?
Getting the rejections, like all of that. Like the right person is going to connect.
And even before you have some people excuse again. I don't have the money to do that though. How you can tell me to do that if I don't have the money? You still have free resources. You have Kindle books with actually Think and Grow Rich, which you could get for free to just read it. Podcasts like this where you just could learn. And so some people just so comfortable being like they just in it. They literally just in it. And the excuses is better than actually putting in the work. But when I see you getting your sponsors, living your best life, I kind of jealous of you, Good enough. Body looking good. Body looking good. Kind of jealous of you, but not knowing all the work you had and the sacrifices.
I get that. I think, like you said, I think it comes down to, like you said, finding the community, finding the help, being willing to do the work, right? Being willing to unlearn those habits, being willing to find the community, put in the work to find the community, because sometimes it's not super accessible. Yeah. But I think in today's age, I think you have a wealth of resources, paid, free, where to meet you where you are, right? So I definitely agree on that. I'm always interested in hearing people's perspective on it, because I feel like I have a kind of, I guess, warped or biased view of it, because I can only go based on my personal experience and maybe some people that have shared with me. But yeah, I just wanted to hear your 5 cents on it.
Thank you. Hope so. I gave you some gems and some knowledge on that.
You did. I think I have a better understanding of it, but I do want to encourage people that are watching to really get out their own way and hindering themselves from getting to the goal. Like, especially if you are at that point where you have the goals, right? I think not having the goal is one thing, right? And getting a clear vision, getting set up on having clear goals is important. But if you're someone that has the goals, but you sitting on them year after year after year, like, it's time to
just do it. Just get up, unlearn, do it. Ask for help. Simple as asking for help. But it's hard. Honestly, it is hard. But it's necessary.
It's not impossible.
Yeah. And you have other people who did it too. You literally have so much stories.
You have examples,
So you know, Steve Harvey, Lisa Nichols. You know Lisa Nichols, right?
Yes.
Reading her book actually cost me, went into the schools actually. That's crazy, She gave me the visions to go into school. The late Dr. Miles Monroe gave me the vision to move in Nepal. So literally, you just have to listen to what people saying. Like, when listening to this podcast, whoever listening to it, just listen, because key points in it what could cost you to grow in some area.
Yeah,
but
let's pull exactly what you need out of it. Yeah.
Right. So that's what it worked for me, and I just started. Girl, I just started.
Yeah,
You
on the tip with a splash on the surface. Scratching the surface of the mountaintop.
Right.
All right, Drew, I got a fun game.
Okay.
We are almost at the end, so I like to play this or that with my guests. You got to take a sip first thing. Okay, go ahead, girl. This or that. A few questions. You'll answer, I'll answer, okay?
Okay.
So, Netflix or Hulu?
Netflix.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Okay, you better say the right thing. Dogs. Sweet or savory?
Sweet.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Duh. Pancakes or waffles?
And they're the same thing.
No, Drew. No.
Okay, waffles. Waffles.
They are not the same. First, I don't really like either, but if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick pancakes.
Okay.
Texting or talking on the phone?
Talking on the phone.
I knew you was going to say
Words
that.
of affirmation, gal.
I'm a texter. Please text me. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
These old people churning. Coffee for me. I need my coffee. Okay, fiction book or nonfiction?
Nonfiction.
All right, I knew you was going to say that. I'm a nonfiction too. Okay, summer or winter?
Summer.
I'm actually
Summer.
winter. I need to
Winter?
give me some breeze. I mean, we don't really have winter here, but we have cold fronts.
I have bad sinus, so I wouldn't be able to breathe.
Yeah. All right, dancing or singing?
Dancing. But if I could sing,
I believe you. I believe you.
Dancing for me.
I'm singing. Yeah.
Singing?
Yeah.
You could sing?
Mm-hmm.
No, you could sing or sing.
Remember those walls I built.
Oh, you could sing. Okay.
See, look at you spelling out my business on the streets. Anyway. All right, Drew. So before we end, I want you to look into your camera and tell our listeners just one big piece of advice, whatever it is, whatever's on your heart to share. Someone may be watching this that needs some advice from you. What advice would you like to share? Something that will benefit them, from your expertise or not, like whatever's on your heart to share. What's your biggest piece of advice?
I think I could keep it simple. For me, you do not have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. And you have to know that it's possible. It's a quote I have on my vision board. For every reason you think it's not possible, there are hundreds of people who have faced that same challenge what you're facing now, and they succeed in it. So write it down, make it happen, get an accountability partner, ask for help, and meet us to the 5%, meet us to the top.
See you in the 5% club. Thank you so much, Drew. Again, look in the camera one more time. Tell the people where they can follow you, where they can find you, where they can connect with you.
So you can find me on Instagram at Drew Christon, Drew_Christon, DREW_KHRISTON. And then I have a website, Drew Christon, www.drewchriston.com. Yeah.
Awesome.
Basically it.
Thank you so much, Drew.
Thanks for having
It's been a
me.
pleasure. Always a pleasure chatting with you. I learned a lot.
You did?
I learned a lot about you. Yeah, I knew a little bit about your story as far as being a nail tech, going into the self-development
I was a
coaching.
nail technician?
Yeah, I've seen you share about it on your stories a
you
bit.
be following me. Okay.
Yes. But it was really great catching up with you. Really great learning more about you. And thank you for coming on the Flex Pretty podcast. We got a toast one more time to take it out.
Our goals.
Toast to our goals. And cheers to the actions that follow.
Yes, ma'am.
All 2023 and beyond.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Flex Pretty podcast. If you did, be sure to comment below. Be sure to follow Drew on all platforms that she dropped. And until next time, take care. We'll see you soon. Bye.